Rescue workers needed some rescuing this time. We're talking about the White Helmets, the country's most famous first responders, an all-volunteer group carrying out rescue and relief work in areas bombed by the Syrian government. More than 400 of them were evacuated through Israel to Jordan. From there, they were taken to the west for eventual resettlement. But just who are these White Helmets and what do they do? WION's West Asia Bureau Chief Daniele Pagani reports from Amman.
Until now, Israel has only carried out airstrikes on suspected Iranian bases in Syria. But the latest intervention is perhaps the first of its kind and came at the request of Israel's close allies.
לפני ימים אחדים פנה אליי הנשיא טראמפ ופנו גם ראש ממשלת קנדה טרודו ואחרים בבקשה שנעזור להוציא מסוריה מאות אנשי קסדות לבנות. אלה אנשים שהצילו חיים ונמצאו עכשיו בסכנת חיים. ולכן אישרתי להעביר אותם דרך ישראל למדינות נוספות כצעד הומניטרי חשוב.
The evacuation took place early on Sunday morning along Syria's border with Israel on the Golan Heights. Reports said 422 members of the White Helmets and their families were moved out in buses across the border into Israel. From there, they were driven across into neighboring Jordan, and reports said they are being kept in camps in the capital, Amman. In about 3 months' time, they will be flown out to Britain, Germany and Canada for resettlement. The White Helmets described themselves as a purely rescue group, evacuating people from bombed buildings, rendering first aid and moving the injured to hospitals in Syria's conflict zones. The Syrian government disagrees, describing them as in league with jihadi groups and terrorists. An investigation by independent British journalist Vanessa Beeley turned up some interesting facts. The White Helmets were set up in 2013 by an ex-British military officer. Initial seed funding of $300,000 came from the UK, Japan and the US. Later, money came from the US and even Qatar, among other countries. They are an all-volunteer group. Other reports point to the 62,000-odd people the White Helmets have saved from certain death. The Syrian government's ban on any medical aid reaching rebel-held areas has left the White Helmets as the only succor for besieged civilian populations. The Beeley investigation said the White Helmets' leader, Raed Saleh, was expelled from the US for extremist connections. It says members of the White Helmets have collaborated in killings by jihadi groups, notably the Rashidin massacre of 300 people by the Nusra Front in April last year.
If we want to understand better how an organization like the White Helmet works, we need to understand what it is like to operate in a polarized conflict like the Syrian civil war. There are and there have been many areas under jihadi groups' control. So, when the White Helmets needed to operate in these areas in order to rescue all the people immediately after an airstrike, there may have been many cases where the White Helmets had to strike deals with these jihadi groups in order to be allowed to reach the sites of the airstrikes and help the people. The truth about the White Helmet may only come out years after the Syrian civil war will end. From Amman, Jordan, Daniele Pagani for WION.